So, looking at pig farming as a business, you need to be very strategic. You need to make a clear plan, and you need to have clear production goals of your farm. So you find that pigs have a high reproductive potential, but doesn't rule out that you need to stock your farm with the right number of sows. So if you have fewer sows, you find that your cost of production are really going to be high. So your returns on investments will be lower compared to someone that is going to have a higher number of sows. Sows, I mean, these are mothers that are going to be producing for you piglets. So someone who has 30 mothers is able to have a very good person managing that farm compared to someone that has 5 mothers. So you need to have clear production goals and what kind of personnel to run your farm at a relatively cost effective strategy. So you find uh, a pig can produce over 16 piglets. Some of the pigs can produce over 16 piglets. And if you're able to win 13 of those piglets, you're really doing so good in that venture, in this piggery venture. One of the reasons why people fail in piggery is basically having wrong genetics in terms of mothers that are going to produce poor quality piglets that are slowly growing, and you find that you spend a lot on feeds. So if you're spending a lot on feeds and you can't make returns because of the poor genetics, so you need to be dealing with right genetics and also have very good feeding strategies for those pigs. Pigs are fed based on stage of growth. Piglets have a special diet, and new winners have a special diet. Growers have their special diet that is cost effective to target the body requirement of that animal. Uh, the finishers have their diet, lactating mothers have their diet, and you find that the gilt rearing diet is there, dry sow diet is also there. So pigs are fed based on stage of production. So you find that if you're going to feed a finisher diet on an expensive diet of winner, you find that you're spending a lot on what? On feeds, and the finishers actually eat in large quantities. So the most expensive diet in piggery is basically the lactating diet because it goes in large quantity and you're feeding um, mothers that have produced piglets. And there is a piglet diet. It goes in small quantity on the piglets, but it's also very expensive. It's around in Uganda shilling. It's 2,500 around that. When you mix everything, that is a piglet diet. Other diets are relatively cheaper, but they can actually meet the body requirements of the animal. So if you really want to benefit from pig production, you need to be knowing how best you're going to feed those animals, how best you're going to feed the pigs, basing on stage of production, and how best you're going to source the feeds. That's why you cannot do out without having a clear plan from the time you're starting and making a decision to go into pig farming. People that have a clear plan will actually have clear risk management strategies for their farm. What do I mean here? You will know in case I have swine fever, because swine fever is one of the diseases that really attack piggery farms. How do I get off from this problem? In case my farm gets swine fever, how will I bounce back to the investment so that I really still benefit from this? One of the key things is control. Prevention is better than cure, and there is no cure for swine fever. So prevention is very key, and biosecurity measures, the protocols at your farm, how you're going to be having movement in and out of your farm are really very, very key to ensure that you have a sustainable farm that is guarded against swine fever. So what happens in case you got swine fever? A farm with a clear plan can easily bounce back and give a relatively period of time, let's say 6 months, and you see that you can bounce back and purchase right breeding stock to stock the farm. You've lost the mothers, but you've not lost the structures. That is one key thing. But with this farming risks, you find that you also need to have a clear location at your farm. That's why you need to have a very good consultation plan with people that really know what pig farming is all about. You find that you can start your farm with clear risk management strategies. So one of the key things in piggery is basically having a very good stocking rate that matches the money that is going into the business. The things that you're going to spend in pig farming is basically labor, feeds, and equipment, construction. Those are things that are going to take your money. So the level of investment should match the number of sows, the number of mothers that are going to be at your farm. Do not look for a really high qualified person to manage a small number of sows. There are right stocking rates that can match a level of the person. Then also you find that the highest cost of highest cost in pig production is basically associated with the feeds. So feeds take.
So you find that if you're costing your piggery business, feeds actually take around 65% of the total costs associated with the pig farming. Throughout the whole 4 years of production, you look at how much you would have invested in feeds, and it's really one of the things that actually take a lot of money in piggery farming. So you need to check in your sources of feeds, your cost effective sources of feeds, and one of the key things you're looking at is maize, and in case you're using concentrates or soya. So if you're looking at maize, you have to source your maize at right times. There are times throughout the year when maize prices are actually lower. So if you take every effort to see that you store the maize safely for the animals, you can actually benefit from your farming venture, more so when you're dealing in small scale farming. People that are dealing in large scale farming actually enjoy so many benefits because of the market they create for feeds. You find most of the companies will be seeking, most of those feed companies will be looking at how best to satisfy a large scale producer compared to small scale farmers, because much one pig farm of around 1,000 sows is much better than having a few small scale farmers, or even so many scale farmers, because looking at how the effort they put in to look for those small scale farmers, it's really high compared to actually getting this large scale farmer. So large scale farmers enjoy so many benefits compared to small scale farmers in terms of sourcing inputs and even market, because of the consistency they actually create. So thank you. Please follow me for more farming tips about pig farming, and you can actually see that you enjoy your farming journey.